The bizarre case of the heart eater. Hills are full of stories yet to be tested and brought on record. They have legends and myths. All hill states have a lot to reveal even in the current century. There are gods and demigods, stories of evil spirits, the beautiful tales of nature's bounties and of nature's wrath. There exist stories of spooky haunted houses and of forests where ghosts dwell. There will be people who will deny the existence of these paranormal and hard to believe cases. However, these mysteries of the unknown will definitely attract a traveler to a destination. Stories of girls who disappear from rundown railway station, murder mysteries that remain unsolved for decades, of lovers who live on as ghosts, and of the shapeshifters which take place in discrete environs. This is a case very curious, a case extraordinary that occurred in one northern hill state of India, a hillock in the western extremities of the capital with a railway station and a local bus stand in its name. Here, the sun is in full bloom and tracks and trails provide for an ample shade from sun, thanks to the mighty deodars and pine trees dotting the rail tracks and pagdandis throughout the area. I had a habit of walking through the lanes of the Boileauganj bazaar, having a samosa once in a while from Krishna Sweets adjacent to the police station, and then take the road to Summerhill to reach my humble abode in 20 to 25 minutes through a brisk walk. Summers and monsoon walks were great fun when I had a plenty of walkers on these roads. The sun shone a bright orange streak during its setting time and made the place beautiful. However, on certain occasions I used to walk alone through the forest trail that went to Shiv Bavadi, a small temple of Lord Shiva with a narrow portal of hill water feeding the small locality in this area. Having some 1500 to 2500 steps down the hill, it is a cooler place as it is covered with canopies of deodar throughout the track with a small foot-over bridge at the railway crossing. Being a secluded track, it was prone to cases of looting during the first week of the month, being the salary days. However, due to the constant vigil of the policemen, these cases are not in prevalence anymore. It was one unfortunate winter evening when I, after having a plate of samosas and doodh jalebi from Krishna Sweets, took the dreaded path from Boileauganj to Shiv Bavadi to reach my relative's place. Having only a backpack and a small torch, I took long steps to cover the path at the earliest. Having heard of the instances of lootings, I got frightened recalling it. Just then, there came sounds of fluttering of wings and the call of langurs. Panic struck through my spine and I, as a safety measure, took out a Swiss knife from the backpack and started walking swiftly from the area. It was still 10 minutes to reach the habitation. Running 2 minutes later between the trails and the pagdandis and without looking back, I took a sigh of relief when I managed myself to reach the temple. Now, drinking water from the portal, I took time to catch my breath and then started walking towards my relative's home. On reaching their home, I narrated the whole incident and got reprimanded by my relatives on choosing the path. A few minutes later, I was told that there have been cases of looting in this part and people are warned not to walk that area late evenings. A young man of 20s is missing since last week and a search party was also formed but to no avail. After a week or so, there was another case of a missing person where again a search team was made and later the body was found hanging on a deodar. When brought down, it was discovered that the heart was missing from the body and that there were many bruises and scratch marks on neck, shoulders, and a severed hand which was found at a distance of 3 feet from the body. However, nothing was looted except the missing heart. These cases didn't stop here. Week after week, but specifically on full moon nights, the cases of crying of dogs, the restless langurs, and the missing of people was a normal report being filed and reported through the newspapers the next morning. Here came the myths and stories of people seeing a leopard that wasn't there after a few hundred feet. And mysteriously, a man was seen at the same area, walking as if nothing happened. A shaman was called by the locals to understand the case of missing human hearts and the pug marks that after a few hundred feet vanished and human footprints were visible. The shaman was shocked to learn and got anxious to visit the places of incidents. After visiting these areas with the locals and scrutinizing everything, he was amused to declare that it is an unfortunate case where the area is being haunted by a mysterious mythical creature, the were leopard. He told the locals that some shamanic practices would be required to be performed to ward off the evil spirit on the next full moon night, and until then, all are strictly warned not to wander alone and be there in groups only while going out or coming into this area. The local administration was perplexed, finding it in the newspapers next morning, and that several notices were displayed at locations advising people not to take the secluded path. One fateful night, a man's scream was heard at a distance, and the next morning he was also found hanging from the tree with a severed hand, bruises, and again the missing heart. People took desperate measures to save their families and friends and blocked that area from movement. On the full moon night, the shaman came in and did several prayers, and while offering a hen, a calf, and a lamb, making several marks on the bark of trees, tying the holy vermilion thread, the Raksha Sutra, that the shapeshifter doesn't haunt the area again and people can live a happy and harmonious life. On being questioned by the reporters the next morning, the shaman told that this place was the hunting ground of one of the leopards, and on one night a man was severed by the leopard, but due to the interventions of the locals, the leopard was killed and the man survived. Started living a normal life until one full moon night when he returned into a shapeshifter, a man leopard, and started a killing spree. However, the shaman promises that he has performed the rituals and now everyone can live happily. Now we walk the same path without any fear and enjoy the cool breeze and the scent of pine from the trees, with the whistle of the train during the day, making the things normal again. Thank you.